Everyone's just so focused on my past relationships and friendships that aren't even relevant to my videos. But it's like I'm trying really hard and nobody even cares, you know? Bree Essrig, born on the internet, died on the internet.
You are much more likely to recognize her face than you are to recognize her name. Shane Dawson, accuser and gossip monger, Bree Essrig, was heavily promoted by the Young Turks network of news and current events commentary YouTube channels for years. So even if you have no interest in internet drama, even if you have no interest in the sub-abasement of YouTube edgy, dark humor, it's really quite likely you've seen Bree Essrig's face before. You may not know the name. Here she is on The Rubin Report. Yes, y'all, 7 years ago, back when The Rubin Report was a left-wing show before its remarkable and inexplicable transformation into being a right-wing talk show, Bree Essrig was there. And yeah, she also got in on the ground floor on the Shane Dawson phenomenon. The single most viewed video on her own YouTube channel is featuring Shane Dawson, and she appeared in at least one video with him on his channel that reached millions of viewers. It was a huge part of her meteoric rise to fame.
Weed. I'm mentally ill. So that means that I love to have some of this to calm the quiet, angry thoughts in my brain. Hey, remember when I said I was mentally ill? These are my meds. I'm on an anti-anxiety, so yeah, I would literally die if I didn't have this.
With all that in mind, here she is saying that Shane Dawson ruined her life and drove her to the brink of suicide. Quote, "He honestly ruined my life at the time. I was suicidal and he got all my friends to completely abandon me. He lied to all of us and constantly made us turn on each other in our friendship group. So twisted and wrong. And yes, he's racist AF. Always has been." Can I just ask, if AF is an abbreviation, shouldn't it be in capital letters? Shouldn't it be capital A period, capital F period? No, just okay. We're not really questioning the difference between true and false here, nor the difference between proven and unproven. With a statement like this, we have to ask if this is reasonable or unreasonable. Bree Essrig is someone who has bragged about her mental problems on the internet for many, many years. She's someone who boasts about the mind-altering drugs she uses in order to cope with her mental and emotional problems. Some of them prescriptions, some of them not so much, as we've just seen in the clip I played you. Now I can imagine that this story she's telling is in some sense true, and yet it doesn't seem like a reasonable version of events, that there were just no other complicating factors as to why she and her friend group were fighting amongst themselves, why her friends abandoned her, why they were fighting with one another. It really does sound like there's more than one side of the story. It just doesn't seem possible that this is a reasonable or well-intentioned account of what happened, if really anything happened at all, if there really is anything worth gossiping about at the basis of this story, of this allegation. True or false, reasonable or unreasonable, what would motivate Bree Essrig to come out and make a public statement about this concerning something that happened close to 10 years ago?
You know what? No, I don't care what people think. I care what I think, and I like my videos, so I'm gonna keep making whatever I want to make, and people can just deal with it.
Essrig was a co-host on the Young Turks News Network, and then became a writer/host on SourceFed from 2015 to 2017. Can anyone remember SourceFed? Can anyone remember the wave of optimism when it was announced that SourceFed was starting with an investment of over $100 million, that YouTube was no longer going to be a trivial, nagging distraction in people's lives. It was going to become something really meaningful, and then they produced nothing but this kind of trivial, nagging distraction. Now, I just want to say I am not in any way opposed to Bree Essrig making use of her beauty and sex appeal, or offering people humor related to that side of human life on planet Earth. But it's a very strange sort of contrast to the position she was put in by seemingly respectable news networks and multi-million-dollar corporations, the Young Turks included. Just, if they were going to hire anyone to do news analysis and political commentary, why would it be her when her top-rated videos are things such as, what you see here? At any rate, Bree Essrig does have reasons to lie. She does have reasons to suddenly become passionately involved in this seemingly trivial controversy around Shane Dawson and the optics of his past dark, edgy comedy career, a career that overlapped with her own dark, edgy comedy career. If you look at the number of views per video on her own channel, to say it has been a downward curve since the old days of her collaboration with Shane Dawson would be an understatement. Yeah, there is one exception there in her second to most recent video where she made a sexually suggestive video that got a considerable number of views, but in general, 6,000 views, 7,500 views is what you're looking at. And by the way, there is one bar for each video on this bar chart. So we're not generalizing. This is a video by video total, a video by video breakdown as she's gone through this downward spiral in her career. The optimists among us would like to say that this is just a coincidence, and it may well be. But if you're as pessimistic about human nature as I am, you probably will not regard this as coincidental only. Just at this moment, just within the last few weeks, Bree Essrig has been trying to promote her OnlyFans site.
Bree Essrig. Wait, this isn't porn. Sad face.
Now, I am not criticizing her for making that choice. She is trying to make the transition from being a comedian and a political analyst, political commentator. She's trying to make a transition from that background to being a full-time sex symbol, a full-time fetish model, foot model, sexually provocative model. And you know what? It's probably a great choice for her. Like, I really do not hold this against her in any way whatsoever. However, the motivation for her to make the most unreasonable and extreme statement possible about her past history with Shane Dawson, rather than giving a reasonable and balanced account, that could be linked to the fact that this controversy right now is drawing the attention of millions of people, not thousands, but millions. And there's the potential for her to gather a tremendous following of interested heterosexual men and, some percentage of women who'd like to see these images of her. And most of the potential audience for herself, as she's trying to now be a sexy, near-nude fetish model. So most of the audience will be people who, as I said at the beginning of this video, vaguely remember her face. They've seen her in some video somewhere, but don't particularly remember her name. But the potential for her to be massively successful is there. And wouldn't it be tempting? Wouldn't there be a motivation gnawing away at you at just the moment when you're trying to promote your OnlyFans, trying to promote this new period of your own modeling career, that you could jump on this controversy with Shane Dawson?
Bree Essrig. So much ambition, so little talent.
Quote, "He ruined my life at the time. I was really depressed. He made all my friends turn on me, and I became extremely suicidal." Again, I'm not really questioning true versus false. I'm questioning reasonable or unreasonable. All right? I have been through a very difficult divorce, but you would never hear me make this kind of unreasonable statement about my ex-wife, who did terrible things to me, did terrible, unforgivable things, terrible person, blah, blah, blah. But you know what the truth is? To make a statement like this, that you became suicidal because of someone else, that you became depressed because of someone else, or even that your friends turned on you because of someone else, come on. We're all fully grown adults here. It doesn't take a whole lot of self-awareness to just reflect and say, hey, there's not a simple cause and effect relationship between this other person's behavior and my depression or my feeling suicidal or even the behavior of my friends towards me and my behavior. Come on. Even if this is in some sense true, there is no way that this can be reasonable or well motivated as a public statement, as a public allegation and accusation. And oh yeah, this one closes also with the statement, he's manipulative AF, not capitalized, and most definitely racist. He was also racist behind the scenes as well. He used to make fun of his brother's fiancée all the time, who wasn't white. When I called our friendship off because of this, he tore me apart online, made up a bunch of BS about me, and his fans bullied me for years. He was extremely manipulative. He has a way of making you feel special while he's secretly damaging you behind your back. The worst part about it was he would say, quote, my fans are of all different races and they think it's funny and tell me I'm allowed to do it, and that's actually true. Hundreds of thousands of people did enable that behavior and those jokes at the time. I'm glad I ended the friendship when I did. I close this video by asking you in the audience to think twice before you make public statements, before you make private statements. Really ask yourself, not just about the difference between true and false. Ask yourself, reasonable or unreasonable?
So I was talking to my manager for a little while today, and he said something that really stuck out to me. Bree, who are you? Who are you as a brand? How can we sell you to people?